Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 286. And this is just a personal thing for me. I weighed myself this morning and I'm back to 163. So about a little bit less than a month ago, I stepped on the scale and I was 168. I told myself, okay, well, let's tighten up and let's get, let's get a little more healthier and let's lose some weight. And I've been doing that. The one thing I've noticed, because as a competitive bodybuilder, I know what to do. In terms of diet wise and everything. I was skipping on the cardio. I wasn't really doing the cardio the way I should have been doing the cardio. I was doing it 3 times a week, and then it tapered down to 2, then it tapered down to 1, and it's like I was just skipping it all together. And I'm like, yo, we can't be doing that. You know what I mean? Because it's like the ticket over here is is the main thing, and we gotta keep that healthy. And so I recently got my blood work done, and it's like everything's good. Everything's healthy for on that front. And this is just me as a bodybuilder, but I don't know why, but ever since my competition days, I've always weighed myself on a Sunday. Maybe because it's the first day of the week, and I just want to see where I'm at. And when I stepped on that scale, and it said 168, I'm like, yo, okay. And for me to gain 5 pounds in a month is crazy, especially when I know the weight that I'm gaining is not good weight. It's not because I'm eating more. It's not because I'm eating, or it's not because I'm working out more. It's not because I'm working out harder. It's because I was out here fucking around and not doing what I needed to do. So today I stepped on the scale at 163.6. And like I said, about a month ago, actually 2 months ago, I was the exact same weight. And so it took me about a little bit more than a month to lose 5 pounds. And I know if I keep going, I'll lose, probably about 5 more pounds before my boys before my boy's wedding, which is the end of this month. So I got more than enough time to actually get myself under, 160, probably like the mid 150s or whatnot. And it's like, and the thing, and it's gonna sound fucking vain and whatnot, man, but it's like, I want to see my abs. And so it's like, I know if I get down to 150-ish, 140, low 150s, high 140s, I'll see my abs. And that's another thing I gotta start doing too. I gotta start training my abs more. You know what I mean? Because your abs is a muscle too, believe it or not. If your core is weak, everything else around is gonna be weak. And your chest day is gonna be weak. Your back day is definitely gonna be weak. Everything, man. A weak core is basically it's bad news for somebody's body. To me, your core is like your CPU for your body. It handles everything. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about on this episode is, man, and I know I hinted on this last week, and I'm gonna still hint on it too this week because it's true. You can't force yourself into relationships. You can't force somebody into liking you. You can't force somebody into re-liking you. Me personally, I'm not friends with none of my exes. I'm cool with them. I don't understand the whole friendship thing because it's like, yo, if you guys were dating, if you guys were intimate, if you guys were X, Y, and Z, then why didn't it work out? And that's different from a one night stand, or different from a situationship, because a situationship just purely involves 90% of the time it involves sex. Or a situationship could involve meaningful conversations or intimate conversations and minus the sex. But most of my situationships have involved sex, and it's always crazy to me when these women want to say oh, X, Y, and Z, yada yada yada. But I'm like, no, it's like at the end of the day, this is what you chose, this is what you gonna deal with, and I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And I was talking to my therapist, and I said, when you come out the box with sex, it's really difficult for me to switch gears because it's like, yo, if you wanted a friendship, why you throwing sex in here? You know, last time I checked, nobody I know fucks their friends on a regular basis. You know, nobody I know dates their friends and takes them out to places. Pays for shit. Is like, and I'm not talking like no rinky dink shit. I'm not talking about, oh yeah, hey sis, hey well, let's go out and get lunch or something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like y'all go to a place at a certain time. Like whether it's an intimate date or intimate dinner, whatever it is, and like she gets dressed up, you get dressed up. It's like last time I checked, it's like, yo, it's like, you know, to me a romantic place would be taking her to like her favorite spot to or if she got a favorite sushi spot or favorite seafood place, whatever it is, and it's like you take her there to celebrate X, Y, and Z, right? That's what that shit is, bro. It's like people get it so misconstrued, they get it so fucked up. It's like, oh yeah, X, Y, and Z. And like, what's really weird to me, and honestly, is like, I'm glad I'm seeing more videos about this pop up on social media, is those motherfuckers who play the friend role, knowing the whole time that they want to hit. It is that is so weird. It's so fucking pathetic. You know what I mean? It's like, because again, you can't force somebody into liking you back. You can't force somebody to see you more than how they see you. It's like, you understand how fucking weird that looks, right? You understand how weird that fucking looks. Like, I've never understood that. And like, when dudes do that, I'm like, yo, you a fucking weirdo, my boy. Because you are. It's like, there's something wrong with you that you have to like put yourself in that position to fucking make yourself feel important. And it's like, you're a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've known this individual. I've had it happen to me. And I'm like, oh, shit. And it's like, really? It's like a friend of a friend of a friend. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, yo, like, I hate to tell you this, but dude's a weirdo. It's like the fact that, that they, that he waited that long to shoot his shot knowing that you were vulnerable, it's always wild to me. It's like, I don't respect that, bro. It's like, you a weirdo, my nigga, straight up. Like, there's something mentally wrong with you. It's like, you out there playing a position, hoping that you can get, that you can get in when you fit in, and it's like, you a clown, bro. It's like, I hate to break it to you, dog, but you niggas like who move like that, y'all are weirdos. Straight up, weirdos. Like, there's nothing you can tell me that's gonna make it seem okay. There's nothing you can tell me, bro. Like, why the fuck would that even be the case, my boy? Is like, if that friendship was so important to you, then why the fuck would you ruin it by trying to have sex with this individual? Like, or if you claim to be a friend, or it's like, and you really not, and it's like, bro, like, my dude, no, like, no. It's like, you strange. You strange. It's like, I have female friends, and it's like, yo, it's like, I've never ever once thought about, hooking up with them. Like, I've never ever once thought about, oh yeah, I wonder what that pussy feel like. It's like, no, my boy. Like, she the homie. It's like, and it's like, once you throw sex into a situation, it's a wrap, dog. You can't, my nigga, you can't go back. It's not gonna happen. It's not. Like, that fairy tale relationship that you got in your head, bro, it ain't gonna work out, my boy. No. You're gonna lose a friend because your ass thinking with your dick. Like, stop with that shit, And that's what I was telling a couple guys at work that I know. I'm like, yo, it's like, be careful who you get involved with. Be careful who you do X, Y, and Z with, because you don't want to ruin a friendship based off, close proximity. Based off the fact that, you know, like y'all talk about your issues with each other. It is like, just because you talk about your issues with each other doesn't mean there's a connection. That just means y'all motherfuckers going through some shit. That's what that means. And that's what that is. It's like, I think that's always so fucking strange when people do that shit. And it's like, you realize how fucking weird you look. And I don't respect that, bro. Like, I don't. Like, there's nothing you can tell me that'd be like, oh, yeah, that, like, my nigga, that's the move. No, the fuck it's not. No, it's not. It's not. Like, stop thinking that, like, oh, yeah, it's, you know, like, we've been friends for 20 years, so let me shoot my shot. Like, boy, what? Oh, we've been friends for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Let me, you know, let me finally go off and shoot my shot. Now, the only time that I agree with this shit happening is if, you know, let's say the girl is in a relationship with, you know, with the guy, and the guy dies, and the guy's best friend kind of swoops in. I mean, not swoops in, but kind of just fills that role. That I can understand. But what I don't understand is, like, the guys who do that to the girls, just because the girl's going through a breakup, like, then they want to be like, oh, yeah, well, I'm better than this nigga. But you guys, like, I know I have the inside track. Bro, if the girl is always constantly getting fucking left, what the fuck you think is gonna happen to you? You know? It's like, put it this way. It's like being a side nigga, right? Being a side nigga, you see how fucked up the girl really is. But you don't have to deal with all that shit. Cause you getting laid. And why do you think most guys who are side niggas don't say shit? It's always the girls blowing up the spot. Why? It's because us guys know that they're not worth it. We see how you move. We see what you're doing. We see how you lying to people. We see how you lying to him. So why the fuck would we take you seriously? I mean, make it make sense, right? And, like, that's the one thing I was telling my therapist, man, is like, and I was telling her about this girl that I'm seeing and X, Y, and Z. Like, and I swear to God, every fucking girl has asked me this question, and the question is, are you a player? And I'm like, well, like, nah, what gives you that notion? And it goes back to what my dad told me decades ago when I was in high school. And he was like, bruh, don't fall in love with her, fall in love with it. Get what you want from it. Meaning get laid, you know, do X, Y, and Z, right? And my dad was a player. So I talk like a player. But I'm not a player. I just know what to say. You know, I know what to say in certain situations to get what I want to get. Like, I'm really good at that. I'm really good with words. I'm really good with reading the room, be like, oh shit, X, Y, and Z. Bet. And believe it or not, it's like it's worked out in my favor more often than not. And it's like, and people look at me like, yo, it's like, yo, are you really that dude? Like, no, nigga, but I can be. It's like, I am so confident in myself, bruh. And like, it's not even cockiness, bruh. It's like I walk into a room and I'll be like, yo, okay, cool. You know, whatever. You don't want to talk to me, that's fine. I'll go find somebody else to talk to, you know? Hell, I used to go to these poetry slams when I was in college. And majority of the time, I would end up talking to the girls in the crowd rather than listening to what's going on, you know, with the speakers and whatnot. Because it's like, that was my playground. Like, yo, okay, like, I know we got something in common here because we got a poetry slam. So obviously, you love words too. So what's good with it, man? You know? You gonna let me get them ditches and, you know, like let me get them digits, and so, you know, so we can speak one-on-one. Look what I just did. It's like, we're already in a place where we're comfortable. We're already in a place where we're using words. We're socially communicating. Now I'm adding a layer onto it to get your attention. And it worked. It still works. You know, and I was telling my therapist about it, and she's like, hey, you know what? It goes back to what your dad told you when you was in high school. You know what I mean? It's like, So like I can understand how women would like some women would think that. How some women will be like, yeah, this motherfucker a player. You know, it's like this motherfucker just always got some slick shit to say. And I mean, I don't view it as a bad thing. I don't view it as whatever. I just view it as, you know, I'm just a guy who grew up shy, who had a fucking stutter in high school. And when I got to college, man, it was a wrap. The only regret I have with college is that I wish I would have went away for school. You know, and I tell you why, because you experience so much. And I finally did that after I graduated with my bachelor's degree. I went into Sac State for like a semester. I wasn't really feeling it, but in that process of me growing up and making mistakes and falling on my face and doing X, Y, and Z, that proved to me like, yo, I can do this shit again. Yo, I can do X, Y, and Z again. Like, I don't have to sit here and fucking wait for the perfect opportunity. I can make the perfect opportunity. And that's what it is, man. It's like, I think a lot of people get so caught up in like, oh, well, I'm waiting for the perfect time to do something. That, like, yo, the perfect time is now. Perfect time is today. The perfect time is right the fuck now. It's not 5 years down the road. It's not 10 years down the road, bruh. It's like whatever it is. It's like the whole thing with my music. A couple months ago, I went to my 20th class reunion and like people was asking me like, yo, so you still doing music? You still doing X, Y, and Z? Mind you, I was doing music in high school. I was sending demos out the trunk of my car. That's what the fuck I was doing, bro. It's like my mixing and mastering skills was shit. And like I didn't have any setup. I didn't have, you know, X, Y, and Z. What I did back in the day, and this is before you could upload your shit to like DistroKid and all this independent, you know, distributors, right? I was making copies. And this is before fucking MP3 players and iPods and shit. I was having my dad buy me blank CDs, and I was burning my music. So what I was doing is like I had like this little ghetto ass setup. I had like this digital tape recorder because back then I ain't have no money. I ain't have no money. So I had this digital tape recorder, and what I would do, I would record over these computer speakers through the digital tape recorder, and I would rap over the beat. And then I would try to make it, I would try to clean up everything too. And then I found, okay, oh shit, like, you know, I can buy a condenser mic for like 50 bucks, 100 bucks. Okay, cool. Mind you, I'm 16, 17, 18 years old at the time. You know, like, I'm working minimum wage. It's like, I ain't got no real money. You know, I don't. And so slowly over time, it's like, you know, my setup got better. You know, my skills got better. I took a hiatus from the game for about 5 or 6 years because I fell out of love with it because I was so concerned with the like trying to get a. I thought getting a record deal was gonna make me be happy. I thought, you know, so I was pushing that shit. I was pushing out music. I was doing X, Y, and Z, and I wasn't getting no traction. I'm like, yo, and then I told myself like, don't do it for the contract, bro. Do it because you love it. You know, like stop looking at it as a means to an end and start looking at it as a way to express yourself creatively. You know, and that's what made me fall back in love with it. You know, sometimes you have to fall out of love with something or somebody to fall back in love with it. You know, to fall back in love with that person or with that, you know, with that pronoun, with that noun, whatever it is. For me, it was a studio. You know, for me, it was this. All this setup that you see behind me, that MIDI board that you see behind me. Like, it took years for me to get to this level. I'm like, okay, yo, I can do X, Y, and Z with this shit. Okay, cool. I'm straight with this. Niggas is good over here. And, like, that's how I view relationships, too. It's like you can't force something to be what you want it to be. It's either you just got to keep working at it, keep working at it, keep working at it, and you're going to find somebody who wants to rock with you in that space, you know? One of my exes, she bought me for Christmas a couple years back. It was a rhyme book, and it was a history book of hip hop. You know, and mind you, it's like um it wasn't nothing extremely expensive. It wasn't nothing like that I told her that I wanted. She just got me that because she's like, yo, like I know you do music, I know you do X, Y, and Z. So here's something that that you can possibly read and get some ideas from and everything too. Because it's like sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'll come up with ideas while watching that movie. And I just released Digging Through My Crates Volume 2. And that single that I have in that 501 Clothing. If y'all ever watched Notorious B.I.G.'s movie, his biopic, where he's sitting in the studio and he's listening to him and I think it's 112. Yeah, he's listening to him in 112, the track that he made, and he's wearing 501 Clothing. So I looked it up. And basically, that brand, which is still around, it's a tailor-made brand for celebrities and whatnot. So when I say in the track, like 501 Clothing, I'm expensive to be around. I cost a lot. Which means is like, in order to be around me, you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to be the best version of you. That's what that means. Like, a lot of people didn't get that reference. But if you watch that movie, you understand exactly what I'm talking about, because that shit was tailor-made for Big. That shit is tailor-made for people. I am tailor-made for people, certain people. It's like there's certain people who can't fuck with me or who can't be around me simply because I'm going to require you to be the best version of you. And a lot of people can't handle that. They can't be like, oh, well, he's this, he's that. Like, no, he's actually holding you fucking accountable. Like, he's not a dickhead. He's not. He's holding you accountable because you said you want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. Why haven't you done that yet, though? And it's like, a lot of people may look at that and be like, oh, well, yeah, it's, that's difficult. It's, yeah. But it's difficult staying in the same spot, when you're not being respected, loved, or whatever it is. It's like Steve Harvey told this lady on his show, hey, Steve, and she was going through a fucking tumultuous marriage. This nigga was cheating on her, doing all this shit. And she was married for like 12, 13 years. And all her homegirls are like, yo, like, why don't you just leave this motherfucker? And then so Steve told her something, and I'll never forget it. And I'm not taking advice from Steve Harvey, but I will listen to what he's got to say, and I will take what's important and leave the rest. And what he said, he's like, yo, you've already done 12, 13 years of marriage. You need to do 12, 13 years more to find out what you already know. And then she's like, what? He's like, yeah, think about it. It's like, you've already done all this time. You already know what the outcome is going to be. Do you need to do more of the same thing to get the same fucking answer? And that's what I've told people too. It's like, okay, cool. You've been in this relationship for X amount of years. Do you have to do another X amount of years to get the same result that you already know that you're currently getting? Because it doesn't get better. And people are like, what? I was like, think about it. It's like, if you got to sit there and go through the same shit, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25, 30, I hope you don't have to do another 30. I really hope you don't. But it's like, if you got to sit there and you got to do the same time, double, to get the same fucking response, to get the same result that you've currently got, then what the fuck does that tell you? 501 Clothing. I'm expensive to be around. I cost a lot. That's what I say in the record. Y'all get where I'm going with this? 501 Clothing. I'm expensive to be around. I cost a lot. Think about it. It's not hard to figure out, dog. It's really not. And it's like, I think with a lot of people, like, they want to try and make something work in it. And all that does is fucking make you bitter, make you mad. And it's like, it pisses you off because it's like, you deserve better. You need better. You know, and what's worse is when people have kids and X, Y, and Z, and like they ignore the red flags, and I'm like, oh, you had kids with a bum. You had kids with a motherfucker who didn't treat you as an equal. You had kids with a motherfucker who just, you know, who only cared about you being a vessel for the, you know, a vessel for them, a vessel for their, you know, for his offspring, right? It's like, yo, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, how much time you gotta waste before you fucking wake up? You know, wake up and fucking see what the fuck is going on around you. And like, that's what I tell all these young cats. I'm like, yo, it's like, stop thinking that it's like, you have to figure out everything right the fuck now, because you don't. You don't. And it's like, everybody's so concerned with getting in a relationship, doing X, Y, and Z. Like, yo, you know what? Getting a relationship is great. But imagine if you took that time and you worked on yourself and you became the best version of you. You know, like you went to the gym. You know, you stopped going to the strip clubs. You stopped drinking every fucking weekend. You stopped hanging out with these niggas that don't do nothing all fucking, you know, all week. Last thing I'm going to say, or two things I'm going to say. Digging Through My Crates Volume 2. It's live. It's on my, it's streaming on all platforms. Y'all go peep that, check that out. But the last thing I'm going to say is like, there's this movie called Hanging with the Homeboys. And I have it on DVD. I'll probably watch it later on today. Anyway, the movie's about 4 guys from Brooklyn. And it's different. It's Dougie Fresh. It's John, you know, I can't pronounce his last name, but Lizigamo. And so it's 2 black guys, 2 Spanish guys. And basically they're friends. But if you watch the movie and you see the subcontext, it's like one of them's working, you know, at a minimum wage grocery store, afraid to go to school because he's afraid to challenge himself. The other guy's a bum, you know, who just mooches off people and mooches off girls and whatnot. This other guy in the movie plays an actor, and he's the only one that's is actually going anywhere. And this other cat, he's been living on public assistance for like however long that, you know, he's been alive, right? But the gist of the movie is that it's a comedy based in reality. And it's like, and like the people that you keep around you is who the fuck you gonna become. And Ray Allen has a famous quote that he said, like, if you show me the 4 people that you hang around with, you'll become that 5th version. And it's true. And it's like, at the end of the day, that's what that is, bro. It's like, stop thinking that like, oh, it's X, Y, and Z. Oh, is this, is that? It's like, no, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, can't really help that. You know, you can't really help what people go through. You can only get better from your experience and become a better individual. Anyway, y'all, this is about 28 minutes of your life that y'all won't get back. Hope y'all keeping the 4 P's. Private player, positive pushing. And like I always say, know your worth because you're better than what you are. Peace.